Yes, sure, that we can. Actually, it is now more and more clear that it is not our eyes who sees, it is our brain that sees. So in a given sense, what I want to say is that once we can, we have the means to dialogue, to interact with our brain, we can make real, from the cognitive point of view, things that may not be physically there, but they are real.
Right. They are real to you.
Yeah.
We're doing this because if you are in a VR environment or if you are in a movie, the movie is a virtual environment. You are in that and you feel partly you are in that for some time, and then you're, oh no, sorry, I'm doing in the cinema. So there are some transitions between, or if you are sleeping or dreaming, you are in something like a virtual world which you are created without actually, in a sense, you just think or feeling you are in it. The question is how you can trigger, if you want to now generate something for me, place me now to transform in something, how you can make the environment around, I believe I'm in it and all my senses have the feeling of being there.
I think in a sense that also information can be sent back to the brain after it has put out. A two-way communication between computers or machines and the brain can be possible in the future, and therefore I think to a certain degree it will be possible, because at the end of the day the signals the brain receives are electrical signals from the body, from the sensing organs, and these signals can also be simulated.
Yes, I think this is possible, and I know there's a lot of research going on in the area of presence and largely in the human-computer confluence context. And I think this is a question that relates a lot with neuroscience as well. I mean, at least from my point of view, I always look at it from that side, because the brain is the reality fabrication machine. And if we understand how it works, we can definitely break down these barriers between what we think is real and what is virtual. I personally don't believe too much in reality itself as something that is really real and out there. We just have information that arises to us and we construct these models. So just as we construct models from natural data, I'm sure we will be able to construct and believe in models with virtual data.
Can we break the barriers between the real and the virtual?
Yes, we can for sure. I believe we can. And I believe it's all a matter of understanding what kind of reality the person needs to live in. So how much we can bring virtual reality into the real world to provide something that can improve the life quality of people. That's at least my point of view for what I do. But I believe that integrating technologies such as virtual reality or other kind of robotic technologies into everyday life can really help us bring forward a new way of living for people that might recover what they've lost through new technologies.
Well, science fiction books postulate that it is possible, and most science fiction books actually propose different ways of doing this. Think about Avatar, recent movies that didn't even come from science fiction books. It's such a well-accepted concept that by the science fiction community that it's hard to deny that this possibility is there. Very often science fiction becomes reality, and this environment is very much in that direction. With the technology of today, I think it is not possible because we still are ignoring many aspects of our sensing system. We're not just equipped with the 5 senses, we're equipped with other things. I was just looking before at the demonstration where they were using gyroscopes and accelerometers because they are embedded in our vestibular system. So these are other stimuli, and unless you cover everything, you will never feel completely integrated into a virtual system as if you were in the reality. On the other hand, I believe that it is possible to work towards that goal even in the presence of an imperfect system if you exploit perception. Perception can be fooled in many ways. So if you are able to model our way of perceive reality through sensing, and if we are able to manage the masking effects, like what perception masks another stimulus, then I believe we can reach that goal even without having a perfect
So
system.
working at a higher level than seeing a process.
Working at a perceptual level, sometimes in a cognitive level. Sometimes you don't pay attention to specific stimuli because you're busy doing something else. So your functional level is taking over and masks the perceptual level. Sometimes the perceptual level masks what is at the sensor level. And sometimes the emotional level masks all the levels beneath. So if we want, we can layer everything into emotional, functional, perceptual and signal level with all the masking effects that layer up in this chain in order to be able to create seamlessness in sensing much before you can actually achieve seamlessness in the signal level. So even if the sensors are not perfect.
I think we will in the future. I mean, for example, we are working on optic interfaces. For example, in surgical robotics, the surgeon can interact in a virtual environment he's not actually sensing, for example, the patient, but he's operating and the robot operates really. So we can break this separation.
So we can achieve a sort of telepresence through robotics.
Yes, of course.
Augmented reality would be an example of the hybridization of the virtual and the real world, and I think that sort of augmented reality approach is probably the most fertile and fruitful direction through which we will break the barriers between the real and the virtual. I mean, it'll always, in a sense, it's all about interpretation through your senses. So the virtual, if done with adequate fidelity, can create, a sense of presence or a sense of realness that is, well, if you just look at, I mean, it seems that in the future, not too distant future, it'll be fairly indistinguishable from the real thing. So I think that'll be a gradual process, and it's not something, I don't think there'll be a eureka moment, but maybe in 20 years' time or something, we'd look around this one day and go, hey, it seems like, the virtual and the real have melded so seamlessly, so gradually over so long that, it's happened. But I don't think it's going to be some kind of eureka moment where it's just going to break through like that.
Okay. This is a bit outside of my expertise, but from, for instance, what I've seen with the augmented reality research, where they overlay advertising or information on top of something you're seeing in the natural scene, that's, I guess, in some ways a simple interface of real and virtual, but has remarkable potential, seems to work quite well. And of course, any of the neuroprosthetic stuff, you're introducing something artificial, some machine, some sensor, that becomes transparent to your body. It becomes an extension of your body, whether it's replacing a missing arm, adding a third arm, whichever. So for the user, that becomes very...
The information is there, and information is all virtual at the moment, and we need to somehow be able to assess this information in a better way. Now, internet is very big, has a lot of information in it, but retrieving it is the beginning. And now we can almost retrieve any possible kind of information, but it takes time. In order to improve this, in order to boost up the way we retrieve this information, we need to build new technologies, and we need to study how to build this technology.